Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about the external features of the liver. This topic we will see under the headings like synonym, introduction, characteristic features, situation, weight, shape and the external features. Liver is also called as hepar. So synonym hepar. So the artery supplying the liver is also called as the hepatic artery. Now coming to the introduction. It is the largest gland in the body. It is the second heaviest organ in the body next to the skin. As a gland, it consists of exocrine part as well as the endocrine part. Exocrine part secretes bile, while the endocrine part secretes certain substances directly into the bloodstream, such as most of the plasma proteins, heparin and cholesterol. Now coming to the characteristic features of liver. It is highly vascular organ. It is reddish brown in color. It is solid, soft in consistency, friable and essential for the life. Surgical removal of the 2/3 of the liver is compatible to the life. If some part of the liver is removed, it can regrow to its original size within 6 to 12 months because of the rapid mitotic divisions of the cells of the liver called hepatocytes. Now coming to the next situation. So situation wise, the liver is situated in the right upper quadrant of the abdomen. As it is the abdominal organ, the topography of this abdominal organ is represented in the 9 quadrants of the abdomen. So abdomen is divided into the 9 quadrants by 2 horizontal and 2 vertical planes. Suppose this is the outline of the abdomen. Here you get pubic symphysis. Here you get a plane. This is the transtubercular plane. It passes through the upper border of L5 vertebra. One more horizontal plane is the transpyloric plane. It passes through the lower border of L1 vertebra. In addition to that, you get 2 vertical planes called as the right lateral and left lateral planes. So this is the right side and here this is the left side. So these 2 vertical planes, they pass through the midpoint of the clavicle in the upper part, while in the lower part they pass through the mid-inguinal point. Thus the abdomen get divided into the 9 quadrants. Here is the umbilical region where the umbilicus is situated. So here is the umbilical region. Above the umbilical region, here you get epigastric region. Below the umbilical region is the hypogastric region. On either side of the hypogastric region, you get a right iliac and the left iliac region. On either side of the umbilical region, there is a right lumbar and the left lumbar region. On either side of the epigastric region, you get a right hypochondriac region and the left hypochondriac region, as they are present beneath the costal cartilages. Now, if you draw here the xiphoid process and the costal margin, it is like this. If you see the liver is situated here. It lies just beneath the diaphragm, which separates the abdomen from the thorax. So this is diaphragm. That means if you see the liver, topography of the liver is situated in whole of the hypochondriac region, upper part of the epigastric region, and it extends up to the left lateral plane. Some part of the liver extends into the right lumbar region. So that is about the situation of the liver. Liver moves up and down with the respiration. Now coming to the next, weight of the liver. In female, it measures about 1.2 to 1.4 kgs, while in case of male, it measures about 1.4 to the 1.8 kgs. Shape of the liver, it is wedge shape, or you can say it resembles the four-sided pyramid. If we draw here wedge shape, so here it is like this. Base of the wedge, it faces towards the right side, and the apex of the wedge faces towards the left side. Now coming to the external features. For the external features, we will draw the anterior view and the posterior view of the lever. So here this is the anterior view of the lever. This is anterior view. From the posterior view, lever will be like this. So as it is wedge shape, it has 5 surfaces. The 5 surfaces of the lever are, if you compare with the wedge, this is the anterior surface. Opposite to that, which is situated on the posterior aspect, here this is the posterior surface, while here is superior surface. Here is the inferior surface, and this is the right lateral surface, or also called as the right surface, which forms the base of the wedge. So to compare the surfaces, here we will draw the line like this. Here this surface is the superior surface, while here this is the right lateral surface. Left over part is the anterior surface. Well, if you see from the posterior view, here you will get a faint border like this. Above this border, this is the posterior surface, and this lower part is the inferior surface of the lever. Out of all these 5 surfaces, inferior surface is referred as the visceral surface, and the remaining all surfaces are referred as the parietal surfaces, because they are related to the wall of the abdomen. So for that, here I will draw the diagram. Suppose here is the anterior abdominal wall, here is the umbilicus. This is suppose anterior abdominal wall. Here you get the posterior abdominal wall. Liver is situated here like this. Here is the diaphragm. This is the diaphragm. Now if you see the surfaces of the lever, here this surface is the superior surface of the lever. Here you get the posterior surface of the lever. This is the inferior surface of the lever, and here is the anterior surface. This is the anterior surface of the lever. So the posterior surface plus superior surface and anterior surface, they are related to the diaphragm, or nearer the wall of the abdominal cavity. Same way, here is the right lateral surface, which is in contact with the wall of the abdomen. So these surfaces are referred as the parietal surfaces. Well, if you see, the inferior surface will be related to the viscera in the abdomen. So this surface is also called as the visceral surface. Now coming to the borders, this anterior surface, superior surface and the right lateral surface, they are almost continuous with each other, while the posterior surface is separated from the superior surface by the posterior superior border. So if you see, here is the posterior superior border which separates the posterior surface from superior surface. Here you get the posterior inferior border which separates the posterior surface from the inferior surface. So these two borders, they are blunt or ill-defined. Here is the inferior border which separates the anterior surface from the inferior surface. So here this is the inferior border of the lever. It is sharp where it separates the anterior surface from the inferior surface. It also separates the right lateral surface from the inferior surface, and this part which separates the right lateral surface from inferior surface is rounded. This inferior border shows two notches. One notch is called as the interlobar notch. This interlobar notch is situated on the right side of midline. It gives attachment to the ligamentum teres, so it is also called as the notch for the ligamentum teres. 5 cm to the right side of this notch, there is a one more notch which is related to the fundus of gallbladder. This is the fundus of gallbladder. So this notch is called as the cystic notch. The lever is divided into the right lobe and the left lobe by the attachment of the falciform ligament on the anterior surface. These lobes are the anatomical lobes of the lever. Anteriorly, you get the attachment of falciform ligament which divide the lever into the right and left lobes. These are the anatomical lobes of the lever. While posteriorly, if you see here, this is the falciform ligament, and here you get the structure like this. This is gallbladder. Posteriorly, here this groove is the fissure for ligamentum venosum, which separates the right and left lobes, and on the inferior aspect, here is the fissure for ligamentum teres, which separates the right and left lobes from each other. So to the left side of this you get the left lobe of the lever, and to the right side of it you get the right lobe of the lever. So it is very clear, the left lobe of the lever is small and it forms only the 1/6 of the lever, while the right lobe is very large and it forms the 5/6 of the lever. So the right lobe of the lever, it contributes in all the 5 surfaces of the lever, while the left lobe, it is flattened from above downwards and it does not contribute in the formation of the right lateral surface. Right lobe of the lever in addition shows 2 lobes. Here you get the caudate lobe of the lever, here is the groove for inferior vena cava, and on the inferior surface you get quadrate lobe of lever. This is quadrate lobe of lever, and this is seen from the posterior view of the lever. Now coming to the boundaries of the caudate lobe of the lever. Caudate lobe of the liver lies on the posterior surface of the liver. It is bounded on the right side by the groove for inferior vena cava. On the left side it is bounded by the fissure for the ligamentum venosum. Above it is bounded by the posterior superior border of the liver, and below it is bounded by porta hepatis. So this structure is porta hepatis. This caudate lobe shows the tail-like process which extends to the right side from its lower end. It lies at the junction of the lower end of caudate lobe and the right margin of the caudate lobe. This tail-like process is referred as the caudate process of liver. This caudate process of liver forms the roof of epiploic foramen. On the left side of the lower end of the caudate lobe, there is a conical elevation, and this conical elevation is called as the papillary process. On the inferior surface of the left lobe of the liver, near the lower end of the ligamentum venosum, there is elevation which is called as tuber omental. It lies on the inferior surface of left lobe of the liver. Now coming to the quadrate lobe of the liver, it is quadrangular in the shape. It lies on the inferior surface of the liver, and it is bounded on the right side by the fossa for gallbladder, on the left side by the fissure for the ligamentum teres. Above and posteriorly it is bounded by the porta hepatis. Below and anteriorly it is bounded by the inferior border of the liver. That is about the external features of the liver. In short, the external features of the liver, to revise: the liver is a wedge-shaped organ. It has 5 surfaces: anterior surface, superior surface, right lateral surface, posterior surface and inferior surface. It has sharp inferior border with interlobar notch and the cystic notch. The right lobe of the liver forms 5/6 of the liver, and the left lobe is small. It forms 1/6 of the liver, which are separated from each other on the anterior superior surface by the attachment of falciform ligament, posteriorly by the fissure for ligamentum venosum, inferiorly by the fissure for ligamentum teres. The right lobe in addition shows the caudate lobe present on the posterior surface and quadrate lobe present on the inferior surface of the liver. That is about the external features of the liver. Thank you. This is the specimen of the liver. Liver is the largest gland in the body. It is the second heaviest organ in the body next to the skin. It is situated in the right upper quadrant of the abdominal cavity, just beneath the diaphragm. It occupies the whole of the right hypochondriac region, upper part of the epigastric region, and reaches up to the left lateral plane, and it also occupies some part of the right lumbar region. It weighs about 1.2 to 1.4 kgs in the female. In males it measures about 1.4 to 1.8 kgs. It is reddish brown in color. It is a solid, soft in consistency, friable and essential for the life. Surgical removal of the 2/3 of the liver is compatible to the life. Now we will see the external features of the liver. Liver is a wedge-shaped organ with the base of the edge directed towards the right side. It resembles the 4-sided pyramid. It has 5 surfaces. This is the anterior surface of the liver. Here is the superior surface of the liver. This is right lateral surface of the liver. This is the posterior surface of the liver, and this is the inferior surface of the liver. Posterior surface of the liver is separated from the superior surface by posterior superior border, and from the inferior surface by the posterior inferior border. Both these borders are very blunt, while the anterior surface, superior surface and right lateral surfaces are almost continuous with each other. Anterior and right lateral surfaces are separated from the inferior surface by sharp inferior margin. It is sharp where it separates the anterior surface from the inferior surface, but it becomes rounded where it separates the right lateral surface from the inferior surface. This inferior border shows two notches. Here this notch is interlobar notch, which gives attachment to the ligamentum teres. It lies to the right side of the xiphoid process or midline. Just 5 centimeter to the right side of the interlobar notch, there is another notch called as the cystic notch, which is related to the fundus of the gallbladder. So this is the fundus of gallbladder. Now coming to the lobes of the liver. Anatomically, liver is divided into the right lobe and left lobe by the attachment of the falciform ligament. So this is the falciform ligament, which is attached to the anterior and the superior surface of the liver. To the left side of that is the left lobe, to the right side of that is the right lobe of the liver. Right and left lobes of the liver are separated from each other on the posterior surface by the fissure for the ligamentum venosum. This is the fissure for ligamentum venosum. And on the inferior surface, right and left lobes are separated from each other by the fissure for the ligamentum teres. This is the fissure for ligamentum teres. So this area is the left lobe of the liver and this is the right lobe of the liver. Thus, left lobe is formed by the 1/6 of the liver and right lobe is formed by the 5/6 of the liver. Thus, the right lobe of the liver is larger than the left lobe of the liver and it contributes in the formation of all the 5 surfaces of the liver, while the left lobe of the liver is smaller and it is flattened from above downwards and do not contribute in the formation of the right lateral surface of the liver. Right lobe in addition shows two lobes, caudate lobe and quadrate lobe. This is the caudate lobe of the liver. The caudate lobe of the liver is situated on the posterior surface of the liver, while the quadrate lobe of the liver is situated on the inferior surface of the liver. Here you get, this is the groove for inferior vena cava. This is the area called porta hepatis, where the major structures of the liver enter or leave the liver. So this is porta hepatis and this is the gallbladder. So here the area on the liver is called as the fossa for gallbladder. Now coming to the boundaries of the caudate lobe. Caudate lobe is situated on the posterior surface. It is bounded, this is right side, this is left side. It is bounded on the right side by the groove for the inferior vena cava. On the left side it is bounded by the fissure for the ligamentum venosum. Above it is bounded by the posterior-superior border. Inferiorly it is bounded by the porta hepatis. This caudate lobe shows the tail-like process which extends and becomes continuous with the leftover part of the right lobe. This tail-like process is called as the caudate process of the caudate lobe, which lies between the inferior vena cava and porta hepatis, and it forms the roof of the epiploic foramen, the foramen which connects the lesser and the greater sacs of the peritoneal cavity. While on the left side, lower end of the caudate lobe on the left side shows the conical elevation called as the papillary process. It is directed downwards and backwards. Coming to the quadrate lobe. Quadrate lobe is quadrangular in the shape, present on the inferior surface of the right lobe of the liver. It is bounded on the right side by the fossa for gallbladder. On the left side it is bounded by the fissure for this ligamentum teres. Below and anteriorly it is bounded by the inferior border of the liver. Behind and posteriorly it is bounded by the porta hepatis. Thus you get caudate and the quadrate lobes, they are situated on the right lobe of the liver. Anatomical position of the liver. Groove for the inferior vena cava should be present on the posterior aspect, and when you keep the forceps in it, it should be vertical. The broad surface of the wedge shaped liver should face towards the right side, and convexo-concavo convex surface should face upwards in such a way that convexity of the right side is at the higher level than the left side. So this is the way to hold the liver in anatomical position, and these all are the external features of the liver. Thank you.